live on YouTube. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I am so excited. We got the audio, we got the lighting, we got everything rocking and rolling. Guys, welcome to the very first Saxton show. OMG, you have no freaking idea how long I have been wanting to do something like this. Whether you're watching me for the very first time or whether you've seen me over the last couple of years, I've trained thousands of entrepreneurs on Zoom calls and network marketing and stages. And let me tell you this is a dream come true. I cannot wait over the next coming months as you guys are watching this show that you can really get some insight of the excitement that I've learned from my mentors that has allowed me to change my life and really get this excitement. You know what? You know, it's not even excitement, it's enthusiasm. That's the word. Enthusiasm. When you get out of bed, you want to feel enthusiastic. But before I go ahead and let's get started, why are we here today? Why are we here today? So if you want to turn your annual income into your monthly income, and that's a goal of yours, go ahead and drop a 1 in the chat. Whether you're watching on YouTube or whether you're watching on Instagram or wherever, drop a 1 in the chat if you're here because you want to turn your annual income into your monthly income. And you simply want to know where to start. All right. So for many of us, we're here because we want to increase our income. I see we have a few people watching here live on YouTube and on Instagram. So go ahead and drop that 1 if that's what you're looking for. Yes. All right. Anne, Jay, Shareya, I see you. And so here's my big promise. At the end of today's video, at the end of today's show, you're going to have complete clarity over the direction in which you need to take your life and have full confidence that the goal that you're going towards, right? And in this case, in today's episode, we're talking about the area of finances, that the area in which you're going towards, that you feel confident. As if somebody said, what is your name? And you say your name with confidence. That's the kind of confidence you're going to want to go towards that you're going to feel at the end of today's call, just complete clarity. And if you stay to the end of today's video, I have a free giveaway. I'm going to be giving away a free coaching call, a one-on-one coaching call to a viewer that's watching today's live show here on the YouTube, because I have people watching me on Instagram, but I'm going to prioritize here on YouTube. So if you stay to the very end, I'm going to gift one free giveaway. There's no strings attached to the coaching call. You don't have to pay for it, and it'll be for 1 hour. So make sure you stay to the end. So let's go ahead and let's get started. Who am I? If you're watching me for the very first time, you're probably, if you're watching right now, you've seen me before. My name is DeAndre Saxton. I am currently living here in Miami, Florida, originally from San Diego. So this is the #1 channel for entrepreneurs who want to increase their life and increase their income and do it in their effortless way by reprogramming their paradigm. You see, there's many ways to earn money. There's crypto, there's NFTs, all these things are, all these different, I wouldn't say fads, but these new technologies are coming up. But guess what? There's one thing that controls all of that and how much you earn. And it's right here between the 6 inches between your ears, right? And it's your mind. So when you begin to reprogram your mind, everything starts to fall into place. So the information that I'm going to share with you, not only on today's episode, because today's episode 1, and over the next coming episodes, is this information that's taken me from zero to over $100,000 a month in less than 60 days. Yes, less than 60 days. So for some of you, I'm not going to go ahead and be real with me. When I said turn your annual income into your monthly income, if you were a little shocked, or you're like, DeAndre, how am I going to turn my annual income into my monthly income? I'm only earning $30,000 a year. How am I going to get to $30,000 a month? I don't know how. Is that the question you're asking right now? Drop a 3 in the chat. Just be honest. We have there's other people in the community here that probably feel the same way. And the information that I'm going to cover, like on today's call and the remainder, I turn my annual income into my weekly income in 60 days. Yeah, so I'm talking about by March, your life is completely different. So what is it that really changed my life? People think, what's the secret? It wasn't a new NFT or a crypto coin or whatever it was. It was something that I learned from my mentor, Bob Proctor. So I've been studying under Bob Proctor for the last 2 years, and it's completely changed my life. And when you start to study energy and you start to fall in love with life, one of the things you're going to want to do is share it with other people, hence today's show. So what I would like you guys to do is go ahead and subscribe, hit the subscribe button. Many of you guys have found me either through my Telegram or through my Instagram. But now you're on my YouTube channel. You guys see that I'm a little under 5,000 subscribers. I've been at this YouTube thing now for some time. This is the very first time we're doing a YouTube show. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, because the YouTube algorithm loves when you hit the like button. And guess what? We can get this out to more people and build a community, right? I don't care if we have 6 people or 600 or 6,000. I'm going to be here, and I see the vision of one day having 10,000 people watching here live, part of an amazing, amazing community. And then also share this with somebody. If you're network marketing, if you're building a team, if you have salespeople, if you want to just see somebody win, go ahead and hit the little share button, get it out to your team, get it out to your Telegram group. If you've seen me in action before, you already know that we're going to drop sauce today. So go ahead and get it out to them, and let's go ahead and let's get started. I'm super excited. So actually, while you're in the chat right now, where are you watching today's call from? Where are you watching today's call? And while everybody's typing that out, I want to go ahead and show this with you. So here's today's schedule. Okay, so we're going to start off with the quantum. What did I say? We're going to start off with the ABCs of goals. Where do you start? If you want to turn your annual income into your monthly income, the first thing is like, well, DeAndre, where do I start at? I'm still at a job. You know, I'm only part-time in my business, and I'm part-time at my job. Well, where do I go? What do I need to do? What course do I need to do? What book do I need to read? So we're going to talk about the ABCs of goals, but most importantly, I'm going to get you guys on a little secret: quantum goals, and moving into the quantum space where there's no time and there's no space, and you can manifest your goals in an effortless way. The next thing we're going to talk about is letting go and letting God. And then at the end, for those of you that are staying and watching me live, there'll be a Q&A section where you can ask me any questions right here in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions for you. And then we'll have the final giveaway. So today's call should run about an hour or so, and then we'll go from there. It's the schedule. Okay, so we're going to be doing this call every Tuesday and Friday at 9 p.m. You can find me right here, making sure that things are rocking and rolling. Okay, let's see participants. So this is the first time I'm using YouTube, so forget the chat. The other person's going crazy in the chat. Just forget them, guys. Just focus on me. All right, so let's go ahead and let's talk about it. Let's talk about turning your annual income into your monthly income, because that's what somebody wants. But okay, DeAndre, let's get it on paper. How do we actually do that? So the first thing we have to do is we have to define what success is. We have to first define a success. I would get out my notebook if I were you, but let's go ahead and let's define success. Success as defined by our mentor, one of my mentors, Earl Nightingale, who's passed away, but he says that success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Go ahead and write that down. You're going to want to memorize this. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. I'm not saying that success is the Lamborghini, the Rolex, the $1 Million Club, earning $100,000 a month, or whatever it is that you Instagram or your uplines or whatever business partners or the next door neighbors are defining as success. I'm saying success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So what does that mean? Let's break that down. Success is progressive. So the simple fact that why not put myself in this example, right? I had a vision of one day running a show like this, a podcast where people could watch me live, tune in from around the world, where I could interact with them, and we can build a community. That's going to be the biggest thing about this podcast one day is community. And I had a vision, but I was scared. But then when I started buying the equipment, I was successful. The fact that we have 8, 9 people watching here on YouTube and a couple on Instagram, I'm successful. You don't have to have 10,000 people, because success is the progressive. It means you're moving towards it. Progressive realization of a worthy ideal. You see, when you're going to set this goal, in a minute, we're talking about the quantum goal. The goal that's going to be out there. You're going to put your goal. You're going to put your goal on a little card here in a couple minutes. Once you understand how to set goals, and it's going to scare you because you're not going to know how to do it. You've never done it before. You've never been there before. You say, DeAndre, I only earn $50,000 a year. How can I get to $50,000 a month? I've never even started in business. Great. You're in a perfect position. Because if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting. It's the first time that you're going to look at yourself in a different manner. But you have to grow your awareness into things that you've never seen before. So success is when you start to move in the direction. It's not when you have the $1 million. It's when you start to move towards it. There was a story, a famous story of this guy in New York who was sleeping on, that became a very famous restaurateur. So he had many restaurants in New York City. And one day during an interviewer said, "Hey, when did you realize that you were successful?" And you know what the guy said? I was successful when I was sleeping on park benches, when I held the vision that I was going to own all these restaurants here in New York City. You see, you need to simply know where are you going, which goes to the latter half of a worthy ideal. Write that down. A worthy idea. A worthy idea. You have to have an idea that's worthy of you, not you worthy of it. You see, a lot of us, because we're unaware, ignorance is simply not knowing. Ignorance is not a bad word. It just simply means not knowing. Ignorance says that I am not worthy of that goal. Because if your paradigm, or in a word, if your self-talk says, how am I going to double my income? How am I going to turn my annual income into my monthly income? How am I going to do that? I don't know how. Simply what you're saying, in other words, is I am not worthy of that goal. But guess what? In a couple minutes, we're going to talk about, yes, you are. But we're not just saying this as motivational, positive thinking. We're actually going to get into some real content here. But you have to be worthy of something that gets you excited. You guys notice my excitement. I don't know if you guys can feel the attitude behind what I'm saying here. The attitude is my words, thoughts, and actions, my tonality. I am excited not only about life in this podcast, but about where we're going, because I don't see where we're at. I see where we're going. How about you? When you wake up tomorrow, are you going to be excited when that alarm clock goes off because you're going towards something that's worthy of you? Or are you kind of just going by the wayside and life's just kind of passing you by? You feel a little lost. And if you're a little lost, that's okay. That's totally fine. It's okay to be there. But let me tell you this, it's not okay to stay there. You just need a little bit of information, a little bit of community, and a little pat in the back so you can go out there and live the life that you were designed to live. All right, so let's go ahead and go ahead and hit that like button, family. I see that we hit 10 likes. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Like I said, I don't care if we have 10 likes, 10,000. To me, it's the same, because we're going to be here rocking and rolling. So let's go ahead and let's hop into the first one. We're going to talk about A, B, and C type goals. So go ahead and write that down. So I don't know if I'm able to share my screen here so it looks like I can't actually share my screen on YouTube, but on the next call, what I'll do is I'll find out some kind of software so I can actually share my screen with you, so I can have my little writing pad, okay? But maybe I can let me do this with you. I'll go ahead and, since I can't share my screen, I'll write it for you anyways, because you guys are giving me your precious time. So let's go ahead and write this down. A type, B type, and C type goals. So I'm going to just write this down here. Okay, A. So let's talk about A type goals. So bear with me here. So this is going to be my little writing pad here. So let's talk about A type goals. That is supposed to slide around. What are you doing here? There you go. A type. What are you doing? All right. So it's like working here. You guys see what's going on here. Technical difficulties. But A type goal. What is an A type goal? An A type goal is a goal that you already know how to do. Write that down. An A type goal is a goal that you already know how to do. So the special word here, by the way, drop a 1 in the chat if this is coming correct, so you can see it, because on my screen it looks a little backwards. And if you're watching me on Instagram, hop over to YouTube so you can be with the community. So the word here is know. Here's the word, is you know what to do. So you might be saying, well, what does that mean? So DeAndre, I'm currently at my job, and I'm earning $5,000 a month, and I want to go full-time in my company, whether it's network marketing, you're starting an agency, you're starting a boutique, you're selling fashion online, I don't care what it is, but you want to get to $5,000 a month in your business. And you say, DeAndre, that's my goal. I want to replace my job income. Now, that's great, but that would constitute an A-type goal. Why is that? Because you already know how to do it. You are doing it already at your job. You're earning that $5,000 a month. So simply replacing your job income with your business income would constitute an A-type goal. Now, here's the problem with an A-type goal is there's no growth attached to it. Write this down. A goal is not to get, a goal is to grow. A goal is not to get, a goal is to grow. Now you might be saying, DeAndre, I'm on this, call with you right now. I've been an entrepreneur for 5 years. Why do I need to watch a goal on, watch a call on setting goals? If you're thinking that way, guess what? I used to think that way too. When I humbly met Bob Proctor back when I was turning 24 years old, I was sleeping on a couch. I was driving for Amazon and Lyft, earning $2,000 a month, $10,000 in credit card debt, 400 credit score, no car insurance for 2 years, college dropout, sleeping on my grandparents' couch. I said, you know what? I should probably get rid of my ego because the life and the thinking and the results that I have gotten are not what I want. If I was to surrender and listen to that old man that's respectfully, that old guy that's on the stage, he has what I have. And when he started talking about goals, I was like, man, I know how to set a goal. I'm an entrepreneur. Then he asked me the question, how many of the goals have you actually hit? And if I was to look left and look right, I hadn't hit any of them. Simply knowing how to set goals and actually achieving them are two separate things. So when you get into the A-type goal and you start to know what to do, there's no growth attached to it. So let's go ahead and let's move on to the next one is B-type goal. We're going to talk about a B-type goal. Come on. B-type goal. And you see this, guys, by the way, when you start to go out there and get after your dreams, some things are not going to work. Some software is not going to work. The people may not be there, whatever it is. You just go out there and start acting, and then the universe will start to provide for you. As you see here, I was supposed to share screen, but guess what? We're going to do it like this. So go ahead and write this down, B-type goal. What is a B-type goal? A B-type goal has a plan. You have a plan. That's the word. That's the word here, plan. Plan. So what does that mean? So I would say about 90 to 95% of entrepreneurs sit right here in this B-type zone. Well, what's a B-type zone? A B-type goal is a goal you think you can do. You have a plan for it. Well, what would this person say? They would say, you know what, DeAndre, this sounds good. I want to turn my, I want to hit my goal of this. So I have 500 contacts. I have 10,000 Instagram followers. If I do 10 sales calls a day, I convert at 30% and I enroll 3 people per day. If I did that for 90 days, I'd be able to quit my job. And that is my plan to get out of my job and increase my income. Who's been there before? Drop a 2 in the chat if you've been there before. That's totally fine because that's where I used to be. That would constitute a B-type goal. Now, why is that? Because you have a plan. And if you have a plan, then you're not allowing space for the universe, God, the quantum field to deliver something amazing to you. So when we talk about the quantum goal, you're allowing space for the miracles and the actual quantum leaps, the actual real shit to start to manifest in your life. But you got to have a vision. You got to know where you're going. Because without a vision, you can't make a decision of where you want to go. Who do you want to be? What do you want to have? How do you want to feel? Not only about the world, but about yourself. Loving yourself more, loving people more, loving life more. Got carried away. That's C-type goal. Let's get back to B-type goal. You start to have a plan. So here's the problem with the B-type goal is it doesn't allow you to get excited. Because you have a plan, there's no excitement. It's predictable. When you have predictability, it's something fun. Imagine if you were going to go to Disneyland and you know exactly every ride you're going to go on and you already knew what you're going to feel like and what you're going to eat and every experience and every little laughter. Would it be fun anymore to go to Disneyland? Probably not. It's the unpredictable. What are you going to experience? Who are you going to see there? What's going to be the reaction of your little brother or sister or your partner or whatever? It's that unpredictability that makes life a little fun. Scary, but fun. That's what makes life life. But us humans, we like to put predictability on certain things. So you're not going to be inspired with the B-type goal. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one, which we're going to see here as a C-type goal. If you're loving the training so far, go ahead and drop a 777 in the chat. We have 11 people watching us here on YouTube. I'm so thankful for you guys being here, giving me your time. Like I said, I've been planning this for a while. My goal is to over deliver for you like you have no idea. All right. If you're on Instagram, hop over to YouTube. All right, so let's hop into it. We have the next one, C-type goal. Write this down. C-type goal. Another word I'm going to call it is a quantum goal. A C-type goal is a fantasy. A fantasy. It's something that you've never done before. You might be saying, well, what does that look like? You see, you have to, for the first time, ask yourself, what do I want? Go ahead and write that down if you're taking notes. What do I want? Not what your parents want, not what your kids want, not what your girlfriend wants, not what your business partner or your upline. What do you want? Literally write a grocery list, like a groceries list. What do you want your life to look like? What do you want? You see, when you start to go after what you want, you're going to get excited about life again. And it's not even the attainment of the actual goal. It's the simple progression. You see, me getting up on here and rocking and rolling with you guys here on YouTube and starting the first podcast, I'm excited. I haven't hit the 10,000 people live, but I don't really care about that. It's the progression because I'm doing something I've never done before. I'm not going to lie, guys. Before this call, my hands are a little clammy. I was a little nervous. I've done these calls all the time, but the fact that I'm doing it in the way in which I've always wanted to in this live YouTube podcast, I got a little nervous, even though I've done thousands of calls like this. But guess what? That's what it's supposed to feel like. Unpredictable. You don't know if the software is going to work or that person's going to be there. You don't know if the money's going to come. You don't know if the resources are going to be there. But guess what? That's the fun part of it. It's the realization. So what does this look like when you attach it from theory over to a story? So if you're watching me for the first time, you get to hear my story. If you're here, you already know me, you're going to hear it again. So check this out. So when I met Bob Proctor, right? So many of you guys know that I was driving for Lyft. And when I met Bob, I only had $180, give or take, in my bank account. And when they said, hey, do you want to work with us and become a consultant and start studying with us? They said, great, I'll learn. I said, great, I want to learn. They hit me with the price tag. You know what they said? $30,000. $30,000. Guys, I had never even earned $30,000 in a year. And they were like, yo, cop up $30K to work with us. And I was like, I was sleeping in my car at that event in LA. But I didn't let the money stop me. I got out my grandfather's credit card. I put $5,000 on my grandpa's credit card and said, hey, I got 30 days to make a payment and pay Bob $33,000 a month because I stretched the $30,000 over the year. So I had to pay Bob $3,000 a month. So that's how I jumped into this. Start learning about goals and how the mind works. So I put my back up against the wall. I moved into a zone I had never been, the unpredictable, a scary zone. Well, how am I going to pay off the $5K off the credit card? Not even that. How am I going to pay the $3K next month? You see, that's the fun part. So here I am studying with Bob Proctor, and I'm learning all this material. So, the first lesson we start to learn is having a goal. I start to think to myself, well, what if I go for 30,000? 30,000, that's about 5 clients a month, XYZ. And that got me a little excited. But that was a B-type goal. So here I am. I want you to imagine this. A guy, 24 years old, sleeping on a couch saying, I'm going to earn 100,000 a month. Imagine that's your child or that's your brother or sister. What would you say to them? Drop in the chat right now. What would you say to a friend who has been broke for 5 years, sleeping on a couch, and he comes to you one day and says, yo, I'm going to earn 100K next month? What would you say? Drop in the chat. I'm so curious to see. Maybe you guys are a lot nicer than some of the friends that I had, right? Not my friends are nice, but I'm curious. What would you say if that broke friend came to you and said, yeah, I'm going to earn 100K a month? That was me. I don't even know what I would say to myself, but guess what? I believed in something so much bigger than me. The same thing that said, hey, start on a credit card and just get started. That same energy lives here on this live podcast. I don't see 12 people. I see 12,000. It's here. I give the same energy, whether we had 12 or 12,000. It's the same thing. I'm going to teach you not by my words, but by my actions as you start to see this podcast grow. And most importantly, this community grow. We're going to serve people at the highest level. So here I am. And I started to visualize, man, earning 100K a month. And Bob said, get something that you really want and put it on a goal card like this. You guys will see this right here. This is called a goal card. You see it right here? And on the goal card, it says this: I'm so happy and grateful now that ... and you write down what you want. Go ahead and write that down. Write down on the side of your paper, if you have it right now, what do you want? How much money do you want to earn? So on today's call, we're focusing around the area of finances, but what do you want to earn? How much would you like to earn each and every single month? It would cover your monthly expenses. You'd be able to drive the dream car, retire your parents, live in your dream house, travel the way you want to travel, whatever it is that you want. Write that number down. How much would you want to earn? And then the next thing you're going to want to do is it a C-type goal? Is it a C-type goal? You're going to want to ask yourself that. Is it a C-type goal? Well, let's go back to what we wrote in our notes. What is a C-type goal? A C-type goal is a fantasy. It's a want. It's something that scares you. It has to scare you. If it doesn't scare you, you're going in the wrong direction. Well, why is that? We said earlier, a goal is not to get, a goal is to grow. Your goal is to get out there and do something you've never done. Getting on this podcast right here, it caused me to grow because I've never done it before. It got me nervous. Even though I did a bunch of Zoom calls, I did give myself a little pep talk, but I've done this before. Put it on a card. If you don't, get yourself a little index card. Maybe what I'll do for you guys is maybe in the chat, if I have some time, I'll put a link so you guys can download this for free, get it printed out at Staples and carry it with you. But in the meantime, put it on a little sticky note. Put it on an index card, whatever you like. Just keep it simple and write down in the present tense, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm earning, boom. And that's what I did at the time. I said, I want to get to $100,000 a month. And that was the only shred of evidence that I had back then, was a goal card and a vision and an elevated emotion. So we'll talk about this on another episode, but there's two things that you need to do when you write this goal. Number one, you have to have clear intention. What is the amount that you want to earn each month? It's not good enough to say, oh, I want to earn more money. Okay, great. Here's a $100 bill. Great. Well, this is fake money, but here's a $100 bill. Here's a dollar bill. Now you earn more money. The universe gave it to you. If I give you $1, you earn more money. You got to be specific. How much do you want to earn? Because now it's almost like a menu at a restaurant. You're picking off the menu something that you want. And for some of you, you may not know what you want, and that's okay. What gets you excited? It could be so far out there. You're like, man, DeAndre, you're throwing out $100K a month, $1 million, but $20,000 a month, that scares me. I'm earning $3,000 a month at my job. Then write down that $20,000. Don't look at your neighbor. Don't look sideways. Look at what do you want. Write that on a card and carry this card with you at all times. Fellas, if you're watching the call, you know what I'm talking about. When we leave the house, we do a check, right? Make sure we have all our stuff. Phone, keys, wallet. Add this: phone, keys, wallet, goal card. I always have my goal card on me. And this is one of the biggest things that took me from 0 to 100K a month. From the moment I paid Bob Proctor to my first $100,000 a month. So I started working with Bob in February. I started studying. February, March, April. April was my first $100,000 month. But all of February, I was just studying. I didn't get any clients. I didn't get my first client until March. So between March and April, I had my first 100K month. And by the way, it was in a month, but I earned that in about 17 days. I had never earned more. I didn't even earn $100,000 in 5 years. I think I earned like $80,000 across 5 years. And then I did that almost in a week and a half. How did that happen? Because what I'm going to talk about here is called the quantum goal. What is a C-type goal? It's a quantum goal. Well, what does quantum mean? Who's ever heard the word quantum leap? Drop a 3 in the chat. Drop a 3 in the chat if you've ever heard the idea of a quantum leap. Quantum leap. Well, what is a quantum leap? A quantum leap is going from the first floor to the penthouse. Going from the first floor to the penthouse. So before I go ahead and I want to take a little break right here, guys. I see people asking me questions in the chat right here. Go ahead and save those questions. Write your question down on the side of your paper. In a couple minutes, in about 5 to 10 minutes or so, there's going to be a Q&A section. Well, I'll spend some time answering your specific question. Here's one thing I've learned. If you ask a great question, you get a great response. So think about what question you want to ask me, and in a minute, I'll be able to answer it for you, okay? A quantum goal, or a quantum leap rather. A quantum leap is going from the first floor to the penthouse in the effortless way. So what I tell my clients is, how can we turn your annual income into your monthly income in the effortless way? How can we double your income in the effortless way? I'm talking about putting in less effort of what you've done all year and putting that in a month with less effort, less time, less struggle, less stress. Because what happens is the traditional model of physics is very predictable. The reason that we're able to live stream on YouTube, have these lights, if you guys wanted to take a flight from wherever city you're in to Miami, traditional physics allows us to create predictability. We know that if we put you in a plane from Dallas and then we fly this way, we know via, physics, classical physics, that point A and point B, you're going to move through space over time. Stay with me here. If you start to, we'll get into this over more calls, but I'm going to explain this to you. Traditional physics says that you're going to get through space. You're going to move matter through space, or move your body through space over time. So what does that look like in your life? You're thinking, well, if I want to double my income, that means I have to put in more hours. That means I have to do more calls. That means I have to do X, Y, Z. And that's not necessarily true. It can be if that's the way you want to live life. But drop a 3 in the chat if you want to live in the effortless way. You want to do way less effort. I'm talking about 50 to 80% less effort and earn 10 times more. If that's something that you're looking for, then you're in the right place. So that's the traditional model of physics. And there's limitations to that. You can already start to hear that. There's constraints. Time and space. Time and space. So when you start to think in this normal world, guys, we're going to get into some deep material over the next, I'm going to keep it light for you guys on this call, but over the next coming weeks, we're going to get into some deep stuff, quantum physics, quantum thinking, moving your body through space, no time, the quantum field, some really cool stuff. But when we get into the world of the quantum, there's no such thing as time and there's no such thing as space. I want you guys to think about this. Whether you believe in God, it's irrelevant. Do you think God has 6 p.m.? Do you think it's 9:35 p.m. where God's hanging out? No, there's no such thing as time. Because there's no time and there's no space. There's only thinking or frequencies or levels of vibration. So, DeAndre, why are you throwing all this funny, weird lingo, quantum and physics? And I'm not here for that. I just want to make more money. But before you get into that, you have to start to think differently. Because what I'm teaching you right here is a way that you were not taught in school. You were not taught this information elsewhere. What I'm talking about is doubling your income or increasing your income in such a dramatic manner that there's no time and no space needed. It's the effortless way. Well, how do you begin to do that? Here's the word: let go and let God. You release your ego and you surrender the plan, the fantasy, what you want, to a power higher than you. I had no idea how I was going to get to 100K a month, but I believed it. I surrendered it to something bigger than me. And the way in which you surrender is very important. We'll talk about meditations, and different strategies and techniques you can use to really embody the version of the person you need to become so you can achieve that goal. And by the way, take a little break, hit that like button. Let's get the likes up. Let's share this, whether you're watching on Instagram, whether you're by the way, Instagram, this is not going to be here forever. We're going to start moving to YouTube, but I wanted to go live on Instagram so you guys can, get over here. But this is where the party is. This is where the party is on YouTube and forevermore. Go ahead and hit that like button. Let's get the likes up. Let's share this because I'm dropping some sauce right now. Hopefully you guys are liking this. Not hopefully, I know you're liking it. I didn't know how I was going to achieve my goal, but I surrendered it to the quantum field, to something bigger, to God. Because if you allow your ego to get in there and create your plan, guess what? Would we agree that God has a better plan for us than we have a plan for ourselves? Would you guys agree with me on that? Drop a yes in the chat if you would agree with me on that. When you start to let go and let God, what you're essentially saying is, here's the direction, and I will allow you source, quantum field, whatever, God, to make space for something better in my life. Here's the word, make space. You have to make space for what you want. Start to make space for it by giving up your power, giving up the ego, giving up the plan, probably, and you control freaks will probably be the first time in your life, but it's one of the most liberating things once you get over the edge. When you're hitting it at first and your ego is like, I need a plan, and you feel this control and you're feeling this mental, spiritual battle, that's your ego. But when you surrender, it's the most liberating feeling. When you start to set what you want and you start to get emotionally involved in it. So let's talk about it. Number one, clear intention. So that's right in the goal card. Number two, you need an elevated emotion. So when you're going to write this goal card, whatever you write on here, whatever income you want to start earning per month, you must have emotion attached to it. And this is where I wouldn't say I struggled, but where I missed the ball for a couple years. Because when I went to 0 to 100K a month, I didn't know anything. I was just starting out in the program. I was only on the 4th lesson out of 12, and everything changed for me. And over the last 2 years, I was trying to figure out what I did so I can duplicate it not only in myself to scale my business, but I can duplicate it in clients and people watching this call. What did I do to get to where I'm at? Because it wasn't just information that I needed. For many of you, just simply watching this call is not going to change your life because you're gathering information in your conscious mind, but it's not getting into that subconscious mind. But there's one language that the subconscious mind understands. You know what that is? Feeling. Feeling is the secret that will set you free. Starting to feel as if you've achieved your goal is something that will set you free and change your life. And the best way to do that is with meditation. So we're not going to get into meditation on today's call, but guys, the meditations that I have been applying over my life over the last 2 weeks, let me tell you, I went to a meditation retreat about 2 weeks ago with Dr. Joe Dispenza, and it completely changed my life. I dedicate 1 hour each and every day to a deep meditation and becoming and feeling the version of the goal that I have. What does it look like? So my current goal card is to save $1 million. I've earned $1 million, but let me tell you this: if you like nice things, drop a 4 in the chat if you like nice things. Who are my people that like nice things? You like nice things. I like nice things. I like nice cars. I like shopping. I love dinners. I love all that. I love traveling. Guess what? Earning $1 million or saving $1 million is way different than earning $1 million. Let me tell you that. So that's my goal. But most importantly, attached to this goal is not simply I want to look at $1 million in my bank account. It's the feeling of freedom and abundance that comes along with it. So understand that when you write this goal and you start to write a fantasy goal, what you really want is not the actual goal. It's the experience and the emotions that goal will bring to you when you attain it. But who says, listen to me here, who says you can't feel the emotion of the experience now before you ever touch it? Let me repeat that one more time. Who said that we can't experience the emotion of our goal achieved now before we ever touch it in our hand? See, now we're starting to get into the quantum physics and the ability to feel as if something is here before it ever touches us, before we ever see it. Because if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. Most importantly, if you can feel it in your mind and feel it in your heart, then one day you become so close to your goal that there's no separation, there's no lack, there's no want, there's no try. It is here. It is done. If this sounds exciting to you, let me hear you guys in the chat. I know this is stuff you've never heard before, but let me tell you, the episodes I have coming up for you are going to be super exciting. So letting go and letting God. All righty, guys. So that's so let me give you some homework. Let me give you some homework here. Here's what I would like you guys to do. So what's your action plan, right? DeAndre, we talked about A-type goal, B-type goal, C-type goal. And really quickly, you do not have an A-type and a B-type and a C-type goal. A lot of people get that confused. You have one goal. That's a C-type goal. You have one fantasy, desire, want goal. You don't have a B-type and an A-type. You only have one. All right. So that's going to be your homework is go ahead. Well, not homework, but your action plan. go out there right after this call. We still got some more time, so don't go anywhere yet. We're going to have a Q&A session here in a second. There's going to be some great questions. I can already feel you guys have some great questions for me. And the questions can be about anything: goals, quantum field, meditation. Many of you have seen me before. You can ask me any question, okay? Actions plan. Get your goal and make sure that whatever goal you come up with, you're very emotional about it. You got to draw that emotion, because later on, I'll be teaching you guys meditation. You got to be able to draw up that emotion. And if it's only something you want in your mind, because that's what you think you want, you'll never be able to plant it and become that person, and it'll never manifest. You got to draw the emotion, okay? So number one, find out a goal that you really want. Number two, write it on a piece of paper or a goal card or an index card or whatever. Write it somewhere and carry it with you all the time. All the time in your pocket. Well, you might be asking, DeAndre, well, why would I do that? Because it keeps you focused on your direction. Let me ask you a question. If I said, wherever city you're at right now, we're going to have a live event, because I live in downtown Miami, we have a theater downstairs. If I said, hey, we're going to have an event downstairs at the theater tomorrow at 9 p.m. It's for free. Or actually, I'll pay you $1,000 to come. And I just said, simply show up without giving you a direction. What would begin to happen? Would you be able to find the location? The answer is no. You wouldn't find it. Why? Because you don't have a destination. You touch it when you put your hand in your pocket, when you're switching pants, when you're at the store and you take your wallet out, whatever it is. This is a reminder of your destination. Where are you going? What do you focus on? How are you feeling in that moment? It's a reminder. So that's part number two. Get that goal and put it on a card and carry it with you all the time. Step number three, let go and let God. Let go and let God. Here's a question you guys are probably asking me. Well, DeAndre, how am I going to achieve it? There's only three questions you need to ask yourself. Two questions. What and why? What do you want? So how much do you want to earn per month? And why do you want it? What's the emotional attachment to it? Is it retiring your parents? Is it quitting your job? Is it sending your kids to a better school? Is it simply the fact that you want to feel accomplished? Do you want to feel abundance, have time freedom, financial freedom? You want to have options. You want to have choices, travel and luxury, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. What do you want? What and why? The third question, how you give up, and that's where let go and let God is. That's where the how is not our job to figure out the how. That's where we surrender it to a power greater than us. Now, granted, there are a couple of strategies that we can use to help compress time frames and make the how a little bit easier, but make sure you tune into other episodes. That way we can go ahead and I can teach you those different strategies, all right? Go ahead and drop a 333 in the chat if you're loving the first episode of the Saxton Show so far, before we go ahead and transition over to Q&A. All right, go ahead, and if you have questions, this is an amazing opportunity for you to ask me a question. Don't hop off the call yet. We're not done. We have some really good questions. And let me tell you this. Somebody might ask a question here that you haven't thought of or you might be thinking of, and it might help you a lot. So stick along for another 15 minutes. We got it. Go ahead and write a question down. Let me go up the chat. Alma says that she's been doing goals wrong this whole time. Somebody asked me, is there going to be a recording of this? Yes, it's going to be on my YouTube channel. Another thing is I'm going to get this out to my content creator. They're going to chop this up into smaller videos for Instagram, for just smaller videos. So there will be a recording. Question. Okay. Angela says this. Will you be posting these videos to your YouTube channel? I'd love to be able to review these. Yes. So I just answered that question. This right now is being live streamed directly to YouTube. So you'll be able to watch the entire 1 hour live stream. But then also I'll be, like I mentioned, giving this to my content creator. Will they be chopping this up into smaller section, maybe 10, 15-minute videos, so you can just get your question answered and, rewatch a certain section. You don't have to sit here for the whole hour. For example, even the simple fact of a Q&A, we might even put that into question, okay? And don't worry about the other people being weird. Can I block people on here? Hide user on this. Okay. Okay, perfect. So I just blocked the other person dropping weird stuff in here. Okay, why don't they teach this in school? Because quite frankly, the teachers don't even know what's going on. The teacher doesn't even know what's going on. This is why we have to go to outside sources of people that have done it before. Okay, Ruse TV says, how attainable should you make goals? That's a really good question. As in, I don't know, as in hola, 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 ¿cómo está? As in, I don't know what that says, as in, but 10x it, or should you set goals? Rewrite that question, my friend. That way I can fully understand it. But while you're rewriting it, I'm going to answer the first question, first part of it here. So Ruse TV asks, how attainable should you make your goals? So let's get back to the question again. Actually, let's start with this first. What is it that you want? So that's the first question. But then there's two really distinct questions I actually forgot to give to you guys. So thank you so much for this, Ruse TV. There's two questions you have to ask yourself. Am I able to do this? Am I able to do this goal? Am I able to achieve this goal? Now, if we were to look at the scientific standpoint, did you guys know that right in your pinky finger, if we were to break down the electrons and atoms and molecules of your pinky, there's enough energy just in your pinky to light up New York City for 7 days. 7 days. There's that much energy just laying in your pinky and the atoms of your pinky. So if we were to look at your body and your mind, the thing that separates you from all living creatures, a bird can only be a bird, a cat can only be a cat, a tree can only be a tree, but you can be whatever you want because you have choice, you have a mind, you have consciousness. So if we were to look at a scientific standpoint, then the answer is yes, you are able to do it. Now, if we were to look at the other standpoint, theological, where it says that God lives in us, we are part of God. We are created in God's image. God being the creator, we're on this earth to do God's work. Well, what's God's work? God being the creator, we're here to create. And we're going to create with his power. So if you come from a theological standpoint, then yes, we are able. Whether you come from science or theology, we are able. So we can check that question off. Are you able to achieve your goal? Question number 2, are you willing? This is the real question. Are you willing to make the necessary changes and sacrifices and effort to attain the goal? You know, I'll frequently hop on a call. With people. I've done over 3,000, coaching calls. And what will happen is I'll be talking to somebody for about 45 minutes, and they're telling me, "Man, this is what's going on in my life. Here's what I want. Here's where I'm at. Here's where I want to go. I'm willing to do anything." I'm like, "Great, perfect. Now get out your credit card. Let me work with you for 6 months, and let me help you change your life." And then they balk. They're like, "Yeah, I don't have the money," or "Yeah, I was supposed to say I'm saving up for a house," or "Yeah, I was saving up for a car." They balk. They're not willing to get uncomfortable. They're not willing to put themselves on the line. They're not willing to invest in themselves. That's just one example. There's many examples. Some people are not willing to stop partying and drinking, going out, or go to bed early. They're not willing to do it. They want it, but it's just simply wishful thinking. Are you willing to make the changes so you can become the version of the person that you need to be? That's the real question. So Ruse TV, how do you make your goal? How do you know how attainable should you make your goal? It should sit within the confines of those 3 questions. What do you want? Are you able to do it? And are you willing to do it and make the changes necessary? Very good question, man. You see, when you ask questions, you remind me of stuff I haven't covered yet, and I can give you some more sauce. All right, so let's answer maybe one more question. Does anybody have another question here? It can be about goals. It can be about meditation. It can be about anything that you've ever seen me train on before. All right, so while somebody is typing up, let's go ahead and let's do the giveaway. Let's do the giveaway, okay? Let's go ahead and let's do the giveaway. Now, what is the giveaway? I want to give thanks. I want to give thanks to those of you that have supported my first show. I really do. You know, from the bottom of my heart here, you know, this has been a dream of mine, and to even I've seen it for a long time. Like even on over here on the side, I have a plaque that I had custom made over in Europe, and it says, you know, my goal. It says I have 1 million subscribers. So I've had this goal since I was a kid. If you go to my YouTube channel, you see I have many videos. I knew I was going to build a YouTube channel. I just didn't know how. But then I had this idea of building this kind of live podcast. I was watching podcasts at the time, watching these 1 hour podcasts. And I was like, wait, I can do that. That sounds really interesting to do. And then I hit something called the unknown zone. I got afraid. It became unpredictable. And I'm not going to lie. I've been sitting here with this camera equipment and I was scared. I was like, what if somebody doesn't show up? But then I had to drink my own tea, drink my own Kool-Aid and say, DeAndre, whether 8 people show up or 80 or 8,000 or 800, show up. Show up, share your truth, and pour into the 8 people. Pour into the people that gave their time to be here. So I want to go ahead and thank you at the bottom of my heart for you guys being here, okay? So while we do that, let's talk about the giveaway. I see a couple more questions that have come up, but we're already in the position of the giveaway. Go ahead and drop, if you're still watching me live, drop a 3 in the chat right now, and I'll randomly select one person for a free one-on-one coaching call with me, no strings attached, 1 hour where I can help you achieve your goal. So drop a 3 in the chat right now if you're watching me on YouTube, and I will select one random person to be selected. So I see one person so far. I'll give you guys a couple more seconds, and then I'll go ahead and select somebody, okay? Angelo says, what's your daily meditation? I will create a separate video for that. So just to keep it simple for you, I meditate every single day using Dr. Joe Dispenza's guided meditations, okay? So that's what I would say to you, but I'll have a whole other call just on meditation. Ruse TV says, broad, but how do you find your why when you love your family, but that doesn't hit deep? Because as much as you love your family, you're still an individual, my man. You got to go out there and get what you want. You got to get what you want. You know, I love my grandparents. I think my grandma's watching me live on Instagram right now. I see her name right here. What's up, Gram? I love you. So I love my grandparents. But guess what? I have to go do things so I can create a lifestyle that one day I'll be able to serve my grandparents and help them and do something special. If I was to love you, Grandma, but if I was to listen to my grandparents, I wouldn't be here right now. I love them so much that I don't listen to them. You got to be at that level. So go out there and get what you want so you have that deep inspiration. Remember, that's a really good question, Ruse. Are you writing down what you want or what your family wants or what somebody else wants? When you write down what you want, you have that inner desire that gets you up at 6 a.m, that gets you in the gym, that gets you eating healthy, that gets you, the ability to quit your job or whatever it is that you want. It's something that you want. It's an inner inspiration. Before you serve other people, you must first serve yourself by finding out what you want. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and randomly select somebody right here. So I'm going to close my eyes. I have my little mouse over the little 3s here, and I'll select this person, Angelo. Angelo, you are the person that I have selected. Angelo, you are the winner of the 1 free 1 hour one-on-one coaching call with me. So what you're going to do, Angelo, is go ahead and do this. I'm putting my Instagram, Saxton Seminars. This is my Instagram, Angelo, at Saxton Seminars. Go ahead and send me a message. We're still figuring out the technical parts of this and like live streaming and sharing screens, but we'll figure it out. But Angelo, go ahead and send me a message on Instagram at Saxton Seminars, and I'll go ahead and we'll schedule that one-on-one call. All righty, family. So I think that's pretty much it. Let's see what, hold on, don't end yet. Don't leave yet. I'll make sure I cover everything for you guys. Okay, final thing, and then we'll be done just at the top of the hour. This is the first show. I was thinking about this before I got on the call, and I was like, I will never be able to experience this again. That feeling of just being nervous. Are people going to show up? How many people are going to be here? Am I going to do a good job? Are people going to stick to the end? And I just sat there and I put my hands over my heart and I opened up my heart and I just started to feel gratitude, because I'll never be able to experience those feelings again because we started already. That nervous feeling. But then I said, you know what? I'm here for something so much bigger. I see myself as a public speaker. I used to see myself as a coach, selling programs and winning, but I see myself as a coach. I see myself most importantly as a servant. I gather this information and I apply it to my life. I earn more money. I grow my awareness. I serve people in the process. I grow my business. I have more purpose, passion, profits. I start to have more happiness, vision, feel more presence, feel more love, not only for myself, love for myself, love for life, and love for people, more compassion for people. And it's my mission, it's my journey. God has called me, He's revealed it to me that I'm supposed to share it with you guys. And I've been trying to figure that out for 2 years, how to do this. And this show is my vehicle, my vessel. I am literally a vessel for this information, for God to work to and through me and serve you guys. The only thing I ask of you is just share it. Let's grow this community. Let's get more people. We have 8 people on this call. Let's put 20, 25 people on the next call. Share it. If you got some value on today's call, I would love if you shared it. We're going to grow this community. You can count on me to be on every call, Tuesdays and Fridays at 9 p.m., giving you guys value, giving you an hour of my time where you can go out there, get real, actionable steps so you can go out there and change your life, not only financially. I'm talking about the way you look at yourself. Be more confident. Change your energy. Feel proud of yourself. And that is my mission, to share this with you guys. So let's go ahead and let's grow this community. As we start to go over the next coming weeks, maybe I'll start a group chat for us or a Facebook group. For the meantime, just keep showing up. You don't know what information you can get. It can be one thing that I say. Maybe you meet somebody in the group chat, or in the chat. You don't ever know, but this 1 hour could change your life, either a Tuesday or a Friday. So guys, thank you so much for your time. We're going to do something absolutely amazing. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. Thank you for allowing my light to be here and be with you guys. Will be more content coming up. See you guys next time. I love you. I'll see you guys. What time? Friday at 9 p.m. for the next episode 2 of The Saxton Show. Love you guys. See you. Bring somebody else on Friday. Take care.